ago, I published this LinkedIn article, which you might not believe, but I have published like 50 GenAI free video resources in this article. You can take generative AI, you can take agentic AI. If you want to get your hands dirty with LLMs, how LLMs work, what is the maths behind LLMs, I have attached some of the resources for that also. Plus, I attach some of the resources for diving deeper into AI reinforcement learning. The main funda behind DeepSeek is reinforcement learning. So I have attached some of the deep courses also of AI. Then I have attached some of the helpful resources, some podcasts that you should listen if you want to get into Gen AI and AI stuff, right? But for sake of simplicity, I would suggest that you can start with generative AI and you can go in this order. But I think if you cover these resources, these courses in, let's say, 6 months, I think you have done enough and you will be ready for cracking a job of an AI engineer. Okay. So hither, this is Akshay Madan and welcome back to a new video. And in this video, I'll be giving a list of resources to you, which I have already given in the 30 seconds, within 30 seconds of this video. And now we are going to dive deeper into the roadmap of becoming an applied AI expert, AI engineer, generative AI, AI agents, everything is same. So I'm going to give you this roadmap. But before that, if you have not joined my Discord channel, I recently created a new Discord server, which has some great channels like resources, news, opportunities, hiring opportunities, showcase that where you can push your projects, where you can show the employers what you are building. Some of the questions, so people are asking some amazing questions. So this is new, so people are less, so you can definitely join in and ask your questions. Okay, so the link is in the description, resources link is in the description. Now let's see the roadmap of becoming an applied AI expert. So what I did, I divided this whole roadmap into 3 stages. First stage will be for those who are currently in college, second year, third year, and they have made their mind that, hey, I want to become an AI engineer, AI expert in future. This level 1 is for them. And the people who are not from the IT background, they are coming from the non-IT background. For them, this beginner stage will be very helpful. After that, people who are already working as a software engineer, they have got around 2 years of experience and now they want to get their hands dirty with the AI fundamentals, AI tools, LLMs, generative AI, right? So for them, this level 2 will be there. And third level will be for those people who have already worked with applied AI and now they want to upskill themselves with the advanced AI concept, deeper AI concepts. So, you have a right to know, I am still in the second stage. I have 2 years of experience. After graduation, I definitely started working very early. So that's why I have got some good experience, but I'm still not at the applied AI expert. I'm still learning applied AI concepts and I'm sharing my knowledge. Okay. So you had a right to know, and you now know. Okay, great. So now let's start with the level 1. The people who are in college. So for them, there is no shortcut that they skip this OOP and DSA. People say that, hey, this is not useful. This is only useful for SD jobs. No, if you are doing any engineering job, software engineering job, you have to get your hands dirty with OOP concepts, DSA problems and DSA questions. Competitive programming is different. That is a different field. I'm not suggesting you to do that, right? I'm suggesting you to go and practice DSA questions, DSA concepts, right? So for that, you practice lead code. Lead code should just be an enabler for you to practice DSA questions. I'm not saying that, hey, just get into CP and don't make any projects. No, that is a wrong path according to me. Okay, so focus on problem solving. Next will be API frameworks. I have talked to many AI engineers in my network and they say that the day-to-day work that they do, consider it as that you will be doing 70 to 75% software engineering only, and rest 25% will be AI, applying AI concepts, applied AI concepts, right? So you have to learn a API framework, whether it can be REST, GraphQL, or because you have already decided you want to become an AI engineer, so you can learn Python in the first step. And over here, you can go ahead with Flask, Django, or Fast API. Okay. The next thing will be learning a development framework, because at the end, you need to deploy whatever you build. You need to deploy your AI tool in the form of a mobile app or in the form of a web app, right? So I already have a playlist where I created around 10 AI mobile app projects. So if you want to check this out, do check this out on my channel. Okay. But I want to say that you need to learn a development framework. It can be Flutter, React, React Native, Angular, Vue, Next.js, anything. But you need to learn a development framework. Next will be databases, because whatever you are generating from the AI model or LLM, at the end you need to store it somewhere, right? Or whatever application you work with, in whichever company you work in, there is no way that the AI, the company is just doing the AI stuff, inference stuff and LLM stuff. At the end, they will be working with the users' data. They will be working with storage of data, structured, unstructured data, schema based data, right? So you need to know database concepts. Whether in whichever interview you go, you have to answer the SQL or no SQL questions, right? So, but because you already have decided you want to become an AI engineer, so one more thing adds to your roadmap, that is vector database, right? So you learn SQL, you learn no SQL, but you also learn the concepts of vector databases, right? Pinecone is a vector database. ChromaDB is a vector database, right? So with MongoDB, Postgres, MySQL, you will be learning this Pinecone and ChromaDB also. Next thing is cloud. Okay, you must have heard about DevOps, right? Now because you will be working with AI, you might be working with LLM ops, right? And for that also you need a cloud. Cloud is necessary, right? Nowadays almost all of the companies are moving to cloud, or they have already moved to cloud. Microsoft Azure is super famous for LLM ops and ML ops pipelines, right? So cloud you need to learn. I also got my first AWS certification last year. I am currently learning like preparing for AWS AI expert certification. So you can also follow this path. I'm not saying that certificates are the one that can help you crack a job, but they will help you get hands-on experience with the tools, cloud tools. Okay, then CI/CD. With cloud, you will also be making the CI/CD pipelines. Whatever app you make, backend app, or you deploy a server, or you create a front-end application, you need to build a CI/CD pipeline around it, continuous integration and continuous delivery of your feature, of your product, right, of your code. So for that, you need some containerization tool, that is Docker, and you definitely need an orchestration tool, that is K8, that is Kubernetes by Google. Okay, so you definitely need to learn these CI/CD tools. No shortcut on that. Next is once you have learned all of this, like any other software engineer, you will be making projects. So make advanced projects. Don't make to-do, don't make calendar app, don't make e-commerce clones or Netflix clones and all. Make some AI project. So playlist is already there in front of you. You can take inspiration from here. Okay. So build AI app projects. Then you need to understand the AI system design. Usually software engineers go ahead with system design, but with that system design where you will be learning about scalability or asset properties of SQL, or why should you choose this database or that database. So that all comes in system design, streaming, right, protocols and all that. So with that, you need to upskill yourself with the AI system design also, that hey, this is a server, this is a client, this is an LLM. My call goes to server, my server calls the LLM, get the inference, we check the eval, we check some of the tools, whether the response is in the correct format or not, which can be given to the user using function calling. So all of that will be coming under the AI system design. So you need to learn one more thing apart from the normal software engineering system design. Okay, so this is all about beginner. I think if you just cover your degree, that is in computer science or computer engineering, I think 4 years are more than enough to cover all of this stuff. And if you're coming from non-IT background, I think 1 year for sure you need to give and upskill yourself with all of this software engineering concepts. Now let's come to the second stage where you have already been working in IT for around 2 years or more than 2 years. Okay, so you were already working in software engineering field, you were a SD1, SD2, and now you thought that, hey, let me get myself equipped with this AI tools, with this AI agents, with this LLM, generative AI. So from where should you start? Okay, so because your base is already very strong, your fundamentals are clear, you can start with understanding the LLM's architecture, right? What is a transformer, right? You might give a lighter read to the LLM, to the transformer paper. Attention is all you need, so that you know why GPT, BERT, and all the transformer based architectures are different than the RNN architectures or the other architectures that used to be there or widely used before this transformer architecture. So learn about transformers, GPT, BERT, Llama, DeepSeek, all of these LLMs, large language models. So get to know how are these models different from each other, right? Llama is an open source model by Meta. DeepSeek is a reinforcement learning based model by Chinese company. GPT is the great model that OpenAI is using, GPT-4o, right? Transformer is the underlying architecture behind all of these models. Okay. After that, you can start with the agentic frameworks. So all of these tools which I have listed over here, these are called the agentic frameworks because they help you to create agents and multi-agent architectures, right? So Crew AI. helps you create multi-agent architectures, multi-agent applications. LangChain is a famous Python and Node.js library. LangGraph is there. OpenAI Swarm is there, which is again an agentic framework. Haystack is there. Microsoft Semantic Kernel is there. Microsoft AutoGen is there. Small Agents is there. AutoGPT is there. So these are all the agentic frameworks which are existing in the market right now, and get your hands dirty with these frameworks. So these are just frameworks, these are not concepts, right? So if you learn one framework, switching to other will be super easy. And most probably whenever we create a AI application, we are kind of working with most of them simultaneously for different purposes. Okay, next is LLM evaluation. So let's say you got a response from your LLM, but you cannot just rely on one single response. You need to evaluate your LLM, because we cannot fix the input every time. We are not sure whatever the user is going to ask. So we need to evaluate the LLM responses on certain benchmarks or certain tools, so that we are sure that whatever user puts, the user will not be disappointed and we are not going to get into some exception, right? So you need to evaluate your LLM so that you give it multiple inputs, multiple background inputs, and then you find out how your LLM is performing with different inputs, right? So for that, there are certain LLM evaluation techniques and benchmarks that you can learn. So one of the tool is Deep Eval that you can use to evaluate your LLMs. Then is cost optimization, because all the companies are widely adopting this AI tools and LLMs, OpenAI stuff. And you might think that it is cheaper, but all of the companies which are there, which are adopting, they are working on massive scale, right? Let's say Amazon thinks to start integrating OpenAI GPT-4o API call for recommendation stuff. Now you know what is the traffic on Amazon. So there is no way you can ignore the cost optimization. Even for startups, even for multinational companies, you need to optimize the cost for making LLM calls. Okay, guardrails. So guardrails, let me give a very simple example. Whenever you are on a highway or a flyover, you know that there are certain boundaries on the flyover or on the highway so that you don't fall, right? So those are called the guardrails, which protect you from falling, or which protect you from the unfortunate situation, right? Similarly, we need to have certain guardrails in LLMs. Let's say you don't want your LLM to generate some some violent responses, or some responses that won't be good for certain community or age group. So for that, you need to have certain guardrails that you need to apply to your LLM calls. So for that, there is Guardrails AI, which is a very famous startup in this space. So Deep Eval, ML Flow, various benchmarks, Guardrails AI are some of the tools that you should equip yourself with. Next is RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. So this means that till now what was happening in software engineering, you had your client front end, you have your back end, and you had your database. But now what we need to do, we need our response to be generated from the LLM. But LLM are not having the latest information, right? They are just restricted, let's say 2023, 2024. So how can we provide the latest information? So for that, you connect your external database with your LLM, right? And provide it the necessary context. So that is called RAG. Then you also need to learn knowledge graphs, where you create a graph data structure of your knowledge, which helps your LLMs to make inferences faster. Then is multi-agent system design. So previously we got to know about this multi-agent frameworks, but now you also need to create multi-agent system designs, right? In multinational companies, you won't be working with one agent, you won't be working with one LLM. There will be multiple LLMs for different purposes. Vision models will be there, voice models will be there, text models will be there, right? So there you will be having multiple agents, and you need to design a system around it. So for that, this concept is important. LLM orchestration, as I told, there will be multiple LLMs in the system. So you need to orchestrate. Orchestration means managing in coordination, right? So for that, Apache Airflow is there, AWS Orchestrator is there. You can dive deeper into these tools. LLM ops, as we have DevOps, as we have ML ops, we have LLM ops. Because you are working with LLMs, now you need to handle the operations of these LLMs. We have observability. You need to observe your LLMs, the responses, cost, evaluation, benchmark, everything, right? So ML Flow, LangWatch are some tools. After you have covered all of this and you are still crazy for learning more, then you can learn how to fine tune LLMs, right? So go ahead on Hugging Face, pull a model, use PyTorch, and create pipelines. Get your, like, if you already have experience with data warehouses and data sets, train your open source models on your own data. You can use RunPod, you can use Google Colab, you can use premium version of Google Colab, you can use LoRa and Clora techniques to fine tune LLMs. Then if you want to learn more, get into diffusion models, the vision models, GANs, generative adversarial networks, right? So get into those. So this was all you can cover at this level. Now let's go more deeper, where you are already working with AI, applied AI for around 4 years, and now you want to get more into AI and deeper into AI. So this definitely, I don't have experience with this. So I reached out to some of the AI experts on the internet, on LinkedIn, and from there I got these responses. So first of all, open source, research work, frameworks, how these frameworks are actually working behind the scenes. You know about Creo AI, you know about this Apache Airflow and all of that. So get into these stuff, right? Go and read the open source code of Creo AI. Go and read the open source code of any other framework, any other tool, and come up with your own research, come up with your own suggestions, put out on the community, help community, right? Domain expertise. Now at this point of time, if you have already got some applied AI expert knowledge, you can actually go and get expertise in one single domain. Let's say, hey, I am an AI expert in the field of health, right? I'm an AI expert in the field of finance, right? Or you can go and apply for senior architect's role, right? There are multiple companies which are hiring for senior architects, and there is really shortage of good talent. So you can go and become a senior AI architect in a company. Next is Kaggle competitions. You don't have to wait till 4 years to participate in Kaggle competition. Start early. But I think at this point of time, you are at a very good stage where you can actually understand the problem statement and you can solve it, and you can come up with a very unique idea, right? Because you have got some good experience. Otherwise, if you are still crazy and you're still you still have hunger for learning more, you can go ahead with master's, PhD, or research work. I personally don't recommend going for PhD, research work, or master's just after graduation. I really appreciate that if you take some experience of 3 to 4 years and then you decide whether this field is for you or not, because this needs dedication, this needs love for technology, right? So this was something that I wanted to share. I think I have covered everything. Do check out this playlist where I have this AI projects. Do check out this Discord channel. Feel free to join and ask me questions. Confuse me with your questions. I would really love that. And you have this 50 resources, so you know where to start, you know what to start, and you know how long to do a step, right? So go step by step and cover all of this. Take a screenshot of this and do let me know on the LinkedIn if you really like this roadmap and resources. I would really wait for a thanks. Okay, so till the next video, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.